Thank you, Abraham. I love everything about it. Fantastic. Brilliant. My question...
Law.
Yes. 3 universal laws. Immutable, I think.
We only really care about law of attraction. Right. And your relationship with your understanding of it and your not application of it, because you can't apply it or not apply it. It applies itself to you.
Exactly.
But you can adjust the vibration to which it applies itself.
Okay, so my question is...
So whether you ever ask that question or not, that's the best answer we've ever given about law of attraction.
Okay. And thank you for that. My question is, why do we not come back with a conscious knowledge, understanding?
You come back with something better. You come back with something better, which is almost ridiculous when you think about it. When you feel good, you're on the right track. When you don't feel good, you're not on the right track. And so you came back knowing that. But what happened? Oh, such a well-placed question. What happened is you cared about the condition of the way that person responded to you more than you cared about the way you felt. That's how you got trained. That's what Esther realized she was doing with her own list of positive aspects about the people that she cares most about in the world. She was trying to train them into virtuous conditions. She didn't mean to do it. Oh, I will see them as always on time. And then they will always be on time. So, without meaning to, you said to your children or to your mates, when you behave this way, I am pleased. And when you behave that way, I am not pleased. And it's really better for you when I am pleased. So, never mind tuning to frequencies. In fact, when I am the most out of alignment with who I really am, that's when I lay down the most laws and demand the most from you. So you better behave and please me when I'm out of alignment, or there'll be big trouble for you. We're exaggerating this, not at all. In other words, so without meaning to, you early on started pandering to pleasing others, whether they were in alignment or not. And in the process, you lost your sense, which is returning in full force today. You lost your sense of feeling your own guidance from within. What could be better? You didn't say, I'll remember everything that I've ever learned about anything. It's like, we have a really good question for you. Did they give you about gravity?
Not a lot.
You're really little. Your mother's holding you in her arms and she's saying, if I drop you, it's really going to hurt. Or there's this thing called gravity and you'll learn about it soon enough. And I'll try to teach you everything I know about it before your feet ever hit the floor. But you didn't have to learn about it because it responded to you so consistently that through life experience you figured it out, you see. And the same thing is true of law of attraction. You knew that you would figure it out because it's pervasive. It's everywhere. It's unyielding. It never stops. It's always consistent. And, we're shouting again, you have a guidance system that lets you know. You just forgot about that because your mother made you believe that what she wanted mattered more than how you felt about it. And now you have some conversations you need to have with a lot of people. Hey, you know how I've been jumping through hoops for you all these years? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to follow Esther's going to discover what it's going to be like when Mark says, hey, Esther, I'd rather not be at the office today. Makes me happy to not be there. So I'm not going to go in. How do you feel about that? And if Esther has heard anything here today, she will say, how I feel about what you do is irrelevant. Even if it has to do with my business. He's got a really big grin on his face. This might not go well for him. And you see, what worries all of you is that you you really don't trust people to behave in ways that will be beneficial to you. And it might be a little rocky in the beginning, but we promise you this is the only answer to everything that you are seeking, you see. You just can't legislate enough things. You can't demand that people are treated one way or another. It's an inside job. They have to create a vibrational atmosphere that causes law of attraction to respond to them. And law of attraction is responding to them. They just have to figure out how to do it consciously, you see. You hearing this? Are you getting it? Are you believing it? Aren't you eager to just watch what happens next?
Always.
So, did we get there, or is there something left?
We got there, except it seems to me it would be so much easier if we all had conscious knowledge of it. How much time have we all spent? I was going to say wasted. I don't mean that.
Are you new to us today?
No.
How long
first time I've seen you in person.
But how long have you been listening to the stuff?
2 years.
And in 2 years, in other words, you got here, we explained it, now you know it, why aren't you applying it?
Well, I am.
We're trying to trap you in your own words. Because the question that you're putting to us is, why didn't I know it before I came? And we say, you all now know it. You all now know it. We're not going to split hairs that you knew it before you came, because you did know it before you came. And you knew something even better before you came. You knew you had guidance that would keep you knowing it. And you knew that life would respond to you fairly, as it does to everyone. You knew all of that. You knew that you would figure it out as you go, and you knew it would be fun to figure it out as you go, and you knew that you would get better and better and better at it. So your question is, why did I not come with the memory of everything that had come before? And we say, you came with better than the memory. You came with source energy right there with you, knowing it so powerfully that in the moment that you deviated from the knowing, you felt off. We got a better question for you. Why didn't you say, oh, what's this off feeling? What's this off feeling? That would be the logical thing. Why do I feel off? What's this empty feeling? Why do I not like it when you disapprove of me? That's a really good question. We'd start telling our little ones that right now. If you feel uneasy when people disapprove of you, do you know why that is? Because something's really wrong with their disapproval. They don't get to choose who you are. You're really a good person, and their disapproval is what's misplaced. You're not out of whack. They are. In other words, you can turn it around right now. You can start telling people. You see? But your question is, no, Abraham, no. I want to know why I wasn't born remembering. And we say, you weren't born with conscious thought. You weren't born with vocabulary. You were born with vibrational knowing, you see, that we are leading you back to. And yes, you learned language, and you learned behavior, and you learned to be socialized by those who needed to control you because they didn't know how to be happy unless they controlled you. But by now, haven't you figured it out? How's it working out? How is it working out? What control do you have over each other? Do you have any real control? Do you listen to your politicians? They stand in complete defiance of each other with what seems to be the singular goal of just not going along with what you want, even if it's a good idea. Even if it's a good idea, I cannot go along with what you want. All the time feeling awful inside. So the bigger question is, how did I, in my human form, get so detached from my emotions that I'm willing to put up with this emptiness? Why am I willing to put up with it? Because we know that often you don't feel empty. Often you're enlivened. Often you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on. So it doesn't take much nudging before you remember that, you see. Before you remember or rediscover what to do about it now. You'll never get us to agree that you came into this physical experience with something missing, because it is, from our perspective, the perfect platform for this eternal beingness that we are all about. You said, I'll go where there's lots of variety, and from it I will find things that are important to me. And we said, and when you find it, we'll flow with it, and you'll know when you're on the track of it and when you're not. You can continue the trajectory of well-being that we are all a part of. or you can deviate from it. But your deviation will be temporary because you'll only deviate while you're in this physical body if you choose to deviate at all from this alignment that is really there for you, you see. So we see it as perfection because we knew that nothing could really go wrong. Oh, you could pinch yourself off from it temporarily, but we knew that you would find your way back to it because in the moment that you re-emerge back into non-physical, you'll leave behind all your resistance and you'll become the full version of all that you've been asking for, you see. So that would be like saying, Abraham, I'm going to an NBA basketball game. Esther's been going to the Spurs game. She likes it so much. And I just don't think that, I think that hoop should be way lower than it is. Way lower than it is. And I think that it should be bigger. The hoop should be bigger and the ball should be smaller. It should be way, it should be just so obvious and so easy that and I think everybody should get to play. I think everybody should get to play. And I just think it'd be a whole lot more fun if it was different in this way. And we say, you like figuring things out. You like getting good at things. You like coming to know things that you didn't know before. You like life giving you more opportunities. You like fine-tuning your vibration to a higher frequency. You like the momentum moving faster. You like the stakes being greater and the reward therefore feeling better. You liked it this way. Every single one of you liked it this way. You've just changed your mind since you become conditional lovers. Once you move back to unconditional lovers, you'll realize the perfection of this world again, you see. This world only feels off when you're a conditional lover who doesn't like some conditions and can't control them and doesn't have the ability to focus either. There's just so many bad things to look at in this world, and I just feel inclined to look at all of the bad things. And I think that the bad things shouldn't be here. And we say, no, you don't. You wanted the variety. And then you say, well, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be the variety. I'm just saying that shouldn't my guidance have been more obvious to me? Shouldn't I have come knowing it? And we say, what could be more obvious than your heart swelling when you're in sync and shrinking when you're not? In other words, your emotions are such powerful guidance, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best sales job we've ever done.
Thank you.